Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Dai, and today I am bringing you the Do I Have That Manga tag. This tag was created by Rachel Isaacson, and I saw it first on Danny D's channel. I'll link Rachel's video as well as Danny D's video down in the description box below in case you're interested in watching. So this is basically a tag where there's a bunch of prompts, and I just had to go through my shelves and see if I had manga that fit these prompts. So I did already go through my shelves. I have a stack of manga here, which you can see. So I will just go through the prompts. I don't necessarily know the summaries or anything like that about these mangas, but I will get to them as I get to them. So let's start off. The first prompt is Shoujo. For that I have Servamp. This one is by Strike Tanaka and is published by 7Seas, rated teen. This one follows Shirota Mahiru, and he is a guy that just likes his life to be simple. He finds a cat, brings it home, and the cat turns out to be a vampire, and then his life becomes complicated. So that is Servamp. And then the next prompt is Josei. For that I have The Seven Princes of the Thousand-Year Labyrinth. This one is by Atori Haruno, art by Aikawa Yu. This one is published by 7Seas and is rated teen. This one follows a group of guys who get taken to this labyrinth and they have to find their way out. It's a competition between the men to find out who's going to be the next emperor. I have done a series thoughts video on this one, which I will link down in the description box below in case you're interested. The next prompt is shonen, and for that one I have Nightmare Inspector Yumekui Kenbun. This one is by Shin Mashiba and is published by Viz, rated teen. This one follows a dream eater at a tea house, the Silver Star Tea House, so it's very episodic. There are several dreams covered in each volume, and he basically helps out people with their nightmares in order to eat their dreams. So very similar kind of to Phantom Tales of the Night, if you are familiar with that title. This is one that I really enjoyed, but is one that I had a hard time finding the later volumes of. I did end up finishing this series either early this year or late last year, I can't remember. But because it had been so long between the second to the last volume and the last volume, I had a little bit of trouble figuring out where I was and what was going on. I do plan on rereading this series back to back, so marathoning this series, and I really look forward to it, but from what I can remember of this series, I really did enjoy it. The next prompt is seinen, and for that I have Bungo Stray Dogs. This one is by Kafka Asagiri, art by Sango Harukawa. This one is published by Yen Press and is rated older teen. This one follows a detective agency, and all of the detectives in that agency have a special ability. They go around solving crimes. All of the characters in this series have a connection to an actual author. So, like, we have Osamu Dazai, who was a Japanese author. There's also mentions of other authors like Ellen Montgomery, and so this one I really find interesting. I'm only up to volume 6 or 7, I think. I have watched the first season of the anime and really enjoy it, and I really look forward to getting more into this series. The next prompt is yaoi, and I don't have any like explicit BL, and that's what I think of when I hear the term yaoi, but I do have this one, which is a shonen ai. It's called Bloody Mary. This one is by Akazuo Samamiya. It is published by Viz and is rated teen. This one follows a vampire who wants to die, and a priest named Maria, who the vampire asks to kill him, but Maria is unable to do so. And while Maria is trying to figure out how to kill Mary, Mary decides to become his bodyguard. So this is one that I have not read yet. It is a title that lives in my daughter's room. I think she has read some of it, but we do own the entire series. And I do look forward to getting into this one because I enjoy me some vampires. So that's Bloody Mary. Then the next one is Yuri, and again, I don't have anything explicit, but I do have A Tropical Fish Yearns for Snow by Makoto Hagino. This one is published by Viz and is rated teen. This one follows the two girls on the cover. One of them moves to the town and is new to the school, and the other is the head of the aquarium club. So yeah, the two girls end up meeting. The new girl decides to join the aquarium club, and obviously they get closer to one another. This one, I read the first volume. I am collecting it. I read the first volume for my manga book club when we were still having that earlier this year, and I really enjoyed it. It's super sweet, and the aquarium animals are very, very cute, and I do enjoy aquariums a lot, so I really enjoyed this one. And it is based on an actual aquarium club, so that was really interesting to me. And yes, so A Tropical Fish Yearns for Snow. The next prompt is horror, and for that I have Versailles of the Dead. This one is by Kumiko Suekane. This one is published by Seven Seas and is rated teen. This one is about Marie Antoinette. I have collected these. I have not read them yet. I think there's one more volume. I'm not sure. But I do have 2 volumes of this. I have read another Kumiko Suekane series, which was After School Charisma, and that one is about a school of clones of historical figures like Mozart and Joan of Arc, Napoleon, and other historical figures like that. So I am looking forward to this one once I do have all of the volumes, but that was my selection for horror. The next prompt is paranormal, and for that I have Vampire Doll Guilt Nazan. This one is by Erika Kari and is published by Tokyo Pop, rated teen. This one follows a vampire who was sealed to a cross, and then he was released by an exorcist. But when he's resurrected into the body of a female doll, and can only transform into his real figure when he sucks the blood of the exorcist's sister. This one I read almost all of it several years ago, but I could not find the last volume. I finally did get the last volume, so I do need to do a complete reread of this series. I do remember enjoying it and that there were a few mysteries along the way, but it was also very funny. So yeah, that's Vampire Doll by Erika Kari. Then I have action, and for that I have Juni Taisen Zodiac War. This one is by Akira Akatsuki, based on the novel by Nishi Oishin. I am reading the light novel. It's taking me a really long time. I just can't get into it. But this one is kind of like a battle royale between representatives of each zodiac. So I have the light novel. I've been trying to read it, but I think I'm just not reading it at the right time. So I have put it on the side, but I do want to read the light novel first, then read the manga, and then I will check out the anime. So I am looking forward to doing that project, but I think I have to be in the mood to read that one. Anyway, that one's my action selection. Then I have sports, and for sports I have Dive. This one is by Eto Mori, art by Ruzuru Akashiba, character design by Suzuhito Yasuda. This one is published by Yen Press and is rated teen. This one follows a community diving club who is about to be shut down unless they can get one of their members to be an Olympic candidate. This one, I believe, is only 3 volumes. I have watched the anime on Amazon Prime, and I really enjoyed it. And we're talking platform and springboard diving in this one, because I believe there's another series out there that's about scuba diving. But this one is platform and springboard diving. And yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I haven't read the manga yet. The next prompt is Slice of Life, and for that one I have my Dress Up Darling. This one's by Shinichi Fukuda and is published by Square Enix and is rated mature. This one follows a high school loner who gets persuaded to help a popular girl in his school sew her cosplay costumes. I obviously haven't read this one yet because it is still wrapped. I'm not quite sure why it's wrapped, but I presume there's some spicy stuff inside. So yeah, I want to collect one more volume of this before I start reading it. I do have volume 2 as well, so I'm waiting on volume 3 to come out, and then I will probably dig into this one. But Slice of Life, I don't think I read a lot of Slice of Life. I had a very hard time trying to find a Slice of Life title on my shelves, but I was able to find that one. So the next one is Smutty, and for that I have Butterflies Flowers. This one is by Yuki Yoshihara and is published by Viz, rated mature. I'm not quite sure what this is about, but I have heard a couple people talk about it. I guess the main character was from a wealthy family who went bankrupt, and then she starts working at a real estate company, and her boss turns out to be the son of the servant of her household when she was growing up. So yeah, I haven't dug into this one yet. I think I only have 2 volumes, and it is an older title, so I am not sure if I'm going to be able to find the rest of it physically, but I don't think this series is very long, and I would like to either collect it physically or digitally before I start reading it. But yeah, Butterflies and Flowers. The next prompt is College Setting, and for that I have Rent a Girlfriend Volume 1 by Reiji Miyajima. This one is published by Kodansha and is rated older teen. And this one is about a guy who has a bad breakup with his girlfriend and ends up deciding to rent a girlfriend to spend time with her at an aquarium. At least that's what it says on the back cover. I know there's an anime out for this one. I have not watched it, but the premise for the first volume sounded really interesting to me, so I have started to collect it, and yeah, I will get to this one eventually. So the next one is One Shot, and for that I have Be With You. This one is written by Takuji Ichikawa, art by Sai Kawashima, script by Yoko Ino. This one I believe is based on the novel. This one is about a guy who loses his wife. They have a young child, and sometime after her death, she returns from the dead. And so they're trying to figure out how that happened and what's going on. I read this one a really, really long time ago. It was something that joined my collection very early. I do believe there have been a couple screen adaptations for this. I believe there is a Japanese movie and a Korean drama. I could be mistaken on that, but yeah, I enjoyed this one when I read it, but like I said, it has been a while, so that is my one shot. For the prompt of Bind Up, I have Corpse Party Book of Shadows. This title, or this Bind Up, encompasses 3 volumes, which is the entirety of the Book of Shadows series. This one is by Makoto Kidoin, who is the one that wrote the script for the game, because this series is based on games. And the art on this one is by Mika Orie. It's published by Yen Press, rated mature. This is not a sequel to Corpse Party Blood Covered, which I have read recently, and actually has a different illustrator, which I thought was interesting. But it's more like a compilation of things that happened in Corpse Party Blood Covered, but if different decisions were made by the characters. So I did find this one interesting, but there was a lot of repetitiveness for me because I had read it directly after Corpse Party Blood Covered, and so I don't think I enjoyed this as much as if I would have let Corpse Party Blood Covered sit a little bit. This one is rated mature, whereas Corpse Party Blood Covered is, I believe, rated older teen. There are a few scenes in here that make it mature, which I did not find were necessary to the story. But yeah, I did find it interesting. There is new material because obviously different decisions were made, which caused other things to happen. But this is what I'm using for a bind up. And then I have completed series on my shelf. For this one, I'm going with Yurara. This one's by Chika Shiomi and is published by Viz. This one is rated older teen. This one is a supernatural ghost story. The main character, Yurara, has the ability to see spirits, and then she meets two other guys who also have supernatural abilities, I guess. Like Nightmare Inspector, I had started reading this series but couldn't find the later volumes. I read 3 of these volumes and then didn't have the last 2, and when I read these 4 years ago, so it's been a while. I do need to reread this one because I did remember enjoying it quite a bit. There is a sequel to this series, which I believe is called Rasetsu, and that one I don't have. But yeah, this is a completed series on my shelf at 5 volumes. So the next prompt is series on my shelf that I haven't started yet, and there are several. But for this one, I decided to go with a series that I collected to its entirety this year, and that is Devils and Realists. This one is written by Madoka Takadono, illustrated by Utako Yukihiro. This one is published by 7 Seas and is rated older teen. I don't know anything about this series. It is one that my daughter was interested in, and we had volumes 12 and 13 on our shelf because they were Manga Monday specials from Barnes & Noble when they were doing their Manga Monday 50% off specials. But I had watched a video from my friend Bazaar Individual, and he had collected a few of these volumes in a manga haul he did earlier this year, and he had mentioned that it was going out of print. So upon talking to my daughter, she was still really interested in reading it, so I decided to go ahead and find all of the volumes and pick them up for her. I was able to find most of it new. There were 2 volumes that I had to pick up used, but we do have the entire series on our shelf now, and so yeah, this one seems like something that I'd be interested in because it does deal with demons, and I do like that type of story. So yeah, Devils and Realists for a series on my shelf. I haven't started yet. The next prompt is manga not published by Kodansha or Viz. I think I've shown quite a bit of that already in my previous prompts, but I have chosen Persona 4, which is published by Udon Entertainment. This one is by Shuji Sogabe and Atlas. I don't know what the rating is on this one because there's a big sticker on the back. I presume it's teen though, because I have experienced this series in its anime form and I really enjoyed it. My daughter is a big fan of the franchise, has played several of the games, is playing her way through Persona 5 Royals right now, which is actually published by Viz, the manga edition. But Persona 3 and 4 were published by Udon, and so this is what I've chosen for manga not published by Kodansha or Viz. My stack is falling down! But the very last prompt is series, where the first volume was published this year, and for this one I chose If Which Then Which by Ato Sakurai. This one is published by Yen Press and is rated teen. This one I don't know anything about. I know that when I looked at the summary on the new releases on Yen Press's website, it sounded interesting, and so I decided to go ahead and put it on my list to pick up. This one was published in September 2020, and it says that Haruka Kuze has been indebted to Maruna Rinjo. How do you show your gratitude to someone who barely gives you the time of day? Haruka had received a life-saving blood transfusion from Maruna, and so he'll do whatever it takes to help her graduate from magical school, even if it means cross-dressing as a girl. So I presume both of those characters are on the front of this cover. It sounds really fun, and so I'm looking forward to collecting more volumes of this series and then getting into it. So that completes the entire tag. I'm not going to tag anybody because I don't know who likes to be tagged. I don't even know who will be watching this video, but if you are interested in doing this tag, I will leave all the prompts down in the description box below. Like I said, the links to Rachel's and Danny D's videos will also be down below. Definitely check those out. And that's all I have for you today. I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye!